Hey there loves, it's your boy Charlie T back again with another video. If you're new to watching me, please make sure you subscribe first and foremost. Hopefully if you like it, you will like, and then make sure you ring that bell to be the first ones notified when I post my new content. Without further ado, let's jump right up into this video. So what I wanted to talk about today is growing up gay. I was born in the early 90s, and by early 90s, I'm specifically talking 91. For me, it was quite a journey. Of course, I'm speaking only on my specific journey of life, my experience as a queer Black man.
The ghetto. The ghetto.
Growing up in the 90s, growing up in the early 2000s, and even, living where we are today in this world. Speaking also based on someone that grew up in a household that for the most part of my childhood was very religious, and going based off of where I grew up in. Where I grew up in was the Midwest, Indiana. It wasn't the best, city like when I grew up. And where I grew up wasn't really like city, it was more so suburban and also very conservative. Just being Black alone, okay, outside of just being who I am, was very, very, very hard. Growing up as a child, I was very self-aware of what I was interested in and what I wasn't. I knew my first crush. This was when the Wild Wild West came out. I won't give a timeline because I really don't recall when that was. However, if you are able to know what the Wild Wild West is, the movie, then you are the MVP, and if you already know all about it, then you can put the time frame together. It was when it came out in the movie theater and the VHS, actually when the VHS came out, because that's when I actually seen the movie. And at the end, there was a music video. Antonio Banderas,
I met Enrique Iglesias, my bad,
was just giving me what I needed. Just feeling my own. Of course, at that age and at the time in general, I was not going to be spilling my own beans to my mother, yet alone my dad or anybody else in the family. There was this pressure all the time that was put on me, even outside of religion, was, I had to be this certain kind of way that I did not exactly care for. It was very hypocritical in a lot of ways. Against my better judgment, of course, I still went about pleasing other people and putting on a facade just because. Although I knew this at a very early age, I still went about having girlfriends and everything. Now, I didn't have that many. I could still count on one hand how many I had. I was interested in a lot of things. Again, I was self-aware of what I liked, who I liked at the time. I had crushes since I can remember. At least takes me back to second grade. I was interested in a lot of things that most, to the heterosexual world, or not even the heterosexual world, I'll say to the norm of how this world puts it, what women should be and would be interested in more so than men. So like the modeling, and just of women wearing heels and lipstick and putting on mascara, trying it on just to, look cute, and like walking, practicing walks, and, exploring imagination in terms to music and putting things together. And by that, I'm just mean because I was heavy in music, so I would really try singing different notes of, girl groups or different women artists, more so than male artists, because women artists was just easier for me to go into back then in terms to mimic, when it came to singing. So that was, you know, and a lot of them were my inspiration. The age of, I want to say about 5, actually, we'll say around 6 or 7, all the way up until I was around 13. That's what was going on with that. From about 13 on up until about 18, that's when I was really still exploring myself, going through puberty. I was going through really the motions of, okay, am I going to really come out to my family, more so my parents, and, you know, admit the truth to myself on things out loud? Or am I just gonna keep this bottled in? Sadly, I kept this bottled in even more. And I tried to just push it, you know, to the side in my own mind, because I was like telling myself, maybe it's just a thing. The more I kept going to church, the more I was like, okay, maybe things here are right. Maybe this is not me. Maybe this is not my life. Just trying to fit in, you know, fitting in at a certain point in my life. Growing as a teenager, again, going through puberty, was just like, all right, I'd rather fit in than be on the outside. And the more I started doing that, the more I started to hate myself and become more depressed, because I was like, why am I doing all this to fit in? Yeah, I'm fitting in right, but I'm not exactly happy. And I got to that point where I was like, you know, I need to be happy and do me. So it honestly wasn't until my junior year in high school to my senior year of high school, I was more accepting of myself, and I was being more comfortable around my friends and telling more people at school about myself, but still not really my family unless it was my close cousins. So I was like 21, 22. That's when I actually came out to my parents. First off, my dad, the way I put it out to him, I was talking to somebody, so I just put it out to the forefront. And it's not the fact that I really knew he would have an issue with it, because I didn't think he would. It was just a matter of me overanalyzing myself on things, and yeah, not giving him the benefit of the doubt at all. So that was that. But with my mother, because I mainly grew up from, like, you know, living in her living space, it was very religious, so I knew that's not what she wanted for me at all. But I got to that point where I don't care what someone would want for me. It's what I want for myself. It's not endangering me, you know, to the point of, like, you know, I'm not endangering myself of, you know, anything crazy. Then that's all that matters. When I explained it to her, it wasn't well. She, at the time, had asked me, you know, are you sure if it's not a phase? Well, no. I'm this age, like, Mom, I know I'm in my early 20s, but I'm pretty certain it's not a phase. Like, I've actually felt this way for a very long time, but suppressed it for, again, a very long time. It's either you accept it or you don't. Like, I'm not living in your space anymore, though, and I feel that, you know, if I'm not putting it in your face, at least I'm being respectful of your, you know, space, then you should be respectful of mine. Basically, she put it in a way of where it just wasn't sitting well. She had stated something that wasn't sitting well with me, and so I had to then inform her that I love her, but I'm gonna have to love her from a distance. For like a year and a half, we did not speak, only because I felt like it was for the better of my mental, and it was better, like, just keep things perspective, you know what I mean? But later on down the line, we ended up speaking. It was over Thanksgiving one year, and we had a heart-to-heart, and she apologized for the things that she had said that were offensive to me, and also in general, like, how she could take back certain things on how I was raised. You know, she would, but I said, you know, everything happens for a reason in life, and everyone has their own specific journey, and, you know, I appreciate the apology, but, you know, it is what it is. We move on from here. We go forward. Since that day, everything's been great. You know, we keep everything open, regardless if they weren't or not. I mean, me, I was still gonna live my life. Period! I was appreciative only because a lot of people can't say the same, and they deal with rejection from their family, or once was their friends, that get pushed back on, are you really sure this is what you want? After years and years of suppressing a lot of myself growing up, that in the end it ended up being great. I was still on my own self journey in terms to really seeing things for myself. Like, it was just a whole lot of self-reflecting. Every day I was learning something new about myself, because there were certain things, because of the way I grew up, there were still certain things that I was, I guess, trying to hide, and the way I grew up was very reserved. So there were still certain things that I was still reserving, about myself, that I was like, what, I got to the point now, I'm like, there's nothing that I should be hiding. Like, everything, my life is on the forefront, regardless of what I'm doing. Like, I have nothing to hide. I'm putting it all out there. Like, there's no secrets. Especially before anyone else would dish something out on me, I dish it out for myself. I'm living my truth. I live in it. I breathe it. I have no apologies for anything, that I have done, for myself. And only things that I do apologize for is for people that I offend, that I don't mean to offend, or have done, in any kind of way. But in regards to my own life, no, I'm unapologetic, okay, 100%. And I feel that many of you who have been going through the same thing, or are going through the same thing, should really reflect and think like, hey, if you're a person that's gone through it and you're at the space now, it's like, yeah, I really did that. And if you're that person now that is in that space where I was growing up, maybe this will help you. My story can hopefully help you be like, all right, I need to be that. I need to get to that place where I am unapologetic about who I am, what I am doing. As long as there's no self-harm involved, you should be able to, be you, be free. There's nothing wrong with it, no matter what anyone tells you. You are beautiful inside to the out, because you are living in your truth, and you just want to be happy. So if other people aren't happy for you for being your, self, then that's on them. Screw them. I just want to put all good vibes, positive energy out there. I really hope you guys like this video. Please, again, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Please comment. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.